Today we're talking with Monica Molina with Casa Fortuna. I didn't say that right. Casa Fortuna, right? That's that right?
Yes, that's
Casa
right.
Fortuna
Casa
Investments,
Fortuna.
who is here with us today. Talk a little about how she's been successful in managing costs for folks who either have a rental property and or a homeowner who's looking to put their house on the market. So, Monica, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your company?
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Well, I am my background. I have a master's degree. I'm a foreign attorney, but when I moved to the United States, I love I have a passion on real estate. So I got my master, and that took me into the industry of real estate investments. So I worked with a multifamily investor for about 3 years and a half, and I was working as an accountant on the construction entity that he owns. He has a vertical integrated company. So that allowed me to open up the possibilities to be managing projects, doing the accounting, the payroll for the contractors, building relationship with contractors, understanding the process of renovating an interior unit, how to order materials, how to build relationships with vendors and implement them in our system and so forth. So I love that. After being there for a few years, I decided.
I think maybe the first question most people have is the perception of what a general contractor looks like. You probably are not going to fit that kind of assumption. So you've been successful in what I would assume would be a very male-dominated industry. Tell us how you've been successful.
Yes, thank you. It's like my daughter says when I first told her I do renovations. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so ugly. You carry materials all day long." And I say, no, I manage my team. I understand what they need because I have been involved with them, but not necessarily physically involved on building a wall and pulling down sheetrock and those things. But I know what they do because I will stand up and walk those units every day, every 2 hours. So that allowed me to build that understanding of the stress that they go and the demands that we project managers and the owners are after them. So I combine those two needs and try to always find a middle point that will keep my subcontractor comfortable and happy, and also I will deliver something that will make the owner happy. Because I want to make money, but I want everybody to make money. And everybody to have an end result that is what they expected. Right?
Well, I imagine also with your accounting background, you're pretty good at kind of keeping costs within budget, right?
Yes, I am. And when I work with the industry that I'm targeting, it's investors and property managers and people that own multiple residential properties with passive income. So yes, we love to save money. Of course, we are in that business of getting.
Well, if you don't mind, let's talk about that for a little bit. So let's say I'm a property owner. I have a couple of rental properties, and trying to explore ways of kind of making the whole process a little bit more less time consuming on my end. If I were to come to you, what are some of the things that you can offer me as the property owner that would make my life easier, and probably most important is look better on that bottom line?
Sure. So what I do with my former experience, because we just own property apartment complexes with my former employer, is I will build a relationship with the property manager and let her know and tell her, okay, when are your expiration leases ending? Which tenants are not renewing? Give me at least a 5-day or 3-day window so I can set up my team, and we don't have to wait. I will come in the day that they're moving and you got the keys. I will grab the keys. I will walk the unit. We have all the team already. We go in. We know what we're gonna target, and we come out. Because time is money, right? So I try to spend the less amount of time in a unit but deliver the most beneficial looks, because they need to market for their next coming lease.
Makes sense. Right? Makes sense. And of course, too, I mean, somebody in another position where they own the house and we're thinking about putting it on the market, is that one of the services that you would be able to offer is to be able to do that renovation, kind of update it, bring it up to current kind of market expectations so that they'd be able to net more money. Is that fair?
Exactly. Right. And just the renovations that we're doing that will not exceed too much, because like you said, you want to get the house nice and appealing for listing, but you don't want to pour too much money in it.
Right, exactly. In line with what the market's expecting.
Exactly.
You know, I tell you, one thing I see a lot here in the Austin area is there are still a lot of folks that have been here a long time, and they've seen this city kind of grow up and probably bigger than they ever expected. But they're sitting in homes that maybe in their neighborhood, they're seeing that house across the street that has the contractors over there all day long, and they see it go on the market and sell for an astronomical price. They may not necessarily have their house ready to be able to maximize, you know, what the market would pay for it, but you would be able to come in and make those recommendations and potentially help them increase the value of their property.
Exactly. Because I always manage the prices based on the after repair value. I like to stay on the 1 mile radius, so I understand that all your competitors that are making the most because their houses are up to date on standards on cosmetic changes and renovations is this. So we will use the same products, we will use the same budget. Let's not go over, because you don't want to be the big elephant in the block. Nobody will want to pay for your house, right?
Well, of course, I'm just thinking of, you know, concerns that a potential homeowner or property owner, you know, might have. What about things like insurance? If you've got multiple people doing different parts of this project, how is you able to address that homeowner's concern is that no one's going to come back on them and want to sue them for any work that may have been done?
That's right. The subcontractors that I work with, they are insured, and my company is insured too. So as soon as we go in and take over a renovation, we as contractors, my company is responsible as during the renovation stage. So something happens, we have our insurance to cover any liabilities.
I got you. And I understand you've got quite a number of projects currently going on right now. Is that right? That if someone had kind of questions about the types of work you do, you have quite a substantial portfolio that they can see, right?
Yes, I do. I'm excited. One of my last ones that is still running right now is in Bastrop. It's a full gut renovation. It's excited to work in small towns because houses are from 1930s, 40s. So you can see beauty from the exterior, but as soon as you pull those walls, you start to see history, and then you start wondering how the house stayed up for so many years with those tiny framings.
How old was the house? Was it like?
That house is 1940s. 1940.
I got you.
Yeah.
And then I've seen those pictures. You've actually taken it down to the studs. Of course, it's not finished yet, but it will eventually be.
Yes. We're doing some rearranges now to suit the 2021 expectations of the buyers, which is a little bit more of an open space.
Gotcha.
Back in 1940s, it was more individual rooms, right? You had your dining room, the living room. So we're opening some walls to expand a little bit the kitchen. Now that with COVID, most of the people are remotely working from home, we're also taking into consideration that we need to have an office space to offer that to the prospect buyers.
Not your carpenters aren't working from home, I imagine.
No, we might get there in a few years.
Exactly. Well, great. I mean, it definitely, because I know that we work together on a couple different things, and I know that one of the things I want to do with the YouTube channel that I've got here is I'm starting to get a lot of people who are very, very interested in investing in Austin. And one of the big things that they may encounter are they may live in, California, and they might want to purchase a house here and rent it. But a company like yourself, you had mentioned kind of like the make ready. But you also have plans available for like an ongoing type of maintenance if something were to go out or something needed fixed or along those lines. Is that not right? Or
yes. So right now I'm focusing, like you said, make ready. That's the word that we use in the industry of property management. Unit a tenant moves out, the unit needs to be make ready for the new tenant.
For the new one, right.
So some property management, well, all the property management, they have their maintenance team, but that maintenance team is not big enough to keep up with turnarounds of units if they are high volume.
Gotcha.
So that's when exterior subcontractors end up being hired, like painters or renovations if they need to start to update the cabinets or change the countertops to be granite, just to update a little bit the property, right? That's where my team comes. So instead of leaving that work to the property manager, because it will be another thing in their list to have to do, to interview people, find the contractors, trust them, or figure out if they have insurance. I have that package. They talk to me. They don't even deal with my subcontractor. So that's not a nightmare. You don't have to remember 20 names. It will be just mine and my number, and I will
you effectively become the one-stop shop. If someone's got a question, someone needs something to do, they come to you, and then you find the contractor to be able to get the job done.
Exactly.
Excellent. Very, very exciting.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I guess at this point, I want to thank you again for taking the time to join us here. What I think might be most beneficial for anybody who might see the video, instead of saying your phone number here, is I'll put it in the comments.
Perfect.
And of course, they would certainly be able to contact me directly, or you if they had questions about a specific project they might be planning. And I hope that this could be the beginning of additional videos, but particularly, I mean, when folks can come out and actually see some of the work that you guys do, or you folks do.
Do.
Well, exactly. I mean, I want to make sure I'm using the right word that no one's offended, but
that's okay. No offense is taken. I have worked with males for the past 3-4 years. I got used to. I'm the only female. I'm not considered a female in the team.
Excellent.